team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Ogre Magi!
Liquid's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Liquid's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Reserve time. Liquid's turn to pick.
Pudge.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Lena.
Liquid's turn to pick.
Abyssal Underlord!
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. 10 seconds remaining.
Queen of pain.
Liquids turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. 5 seconds.
Weaver.
Liquids turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
Naga Siren.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Prepare for battle.
Like have open mic off because you're pubs and then
30 seconds.
yeah, there you go. Hello everybody at Dota TV.
Yeah. Hello, Dota TV. They missed the draft. That's nothing.
Yeah, honestly, we have nothing good to say about the drafting. You know, the insight's not there. Didn't miss any. Liquid. That's the story of a little bit of Miracle, right? On this Liquid squad, is that OG was based very much around Miracle, and what he wanted to do, and what he felt like needed to be done in mid-game and late-game scenarios. He was just one of those players that you give up control of the game because he feels it a certain way, and you know whatever he feels, he'll make work out, sort of way. But Liquid, I think, have not done the same thing with Miracle. They haven't built the team so much around him, and I think that to be one of those examples. Mind control, are you actually dead? Are you going to be body blocked up so much by Era? Maybe. The Ignite, a couple more hits. Mind control, trying to get back to the tower. Eats a tango. Fairy fire, another right click. Oh, it's not enough. He gets a healing salve, and now Hani is going to be the one dropping quite low.
Dang. Era didn't want to commit a little bit of extra damage with that Fairy fire, but even so, it does actually get their lane equilibrium really close to the Underlord, so he's actually going to have a pretty decent time in that top lane, I imagine.
Yeah, it's going to be a sweet start for him, though Pinamalis a little bit sad. He'll probably be able to pick up Firestorm. And range creep doesn't get to end here. Meanwhile, Cinderen's already making that rotation over to mid, trying to pressure the SF. Of course, we've seen time and time again, when you have an SF like this, you'll usually have a support to back him up in the laning phase, make sure he gets that CS. And you can see GH God is already here, spots out Cinderen, takes an Ignite, but gains information.
Interesting, neither of the supports going for any kind of pulls here with the Pudge or the Rubik. Liquid prioritizing more, helping out the lane. It's kind of like you mentioned, if you go for all those pulls, Queen of Pain against the SF is Quickfoot's going to have an amazing time. We're seeing already Quickfoot getting some pressure put on him by the Pudge. The Rot just there to try and secure SF those early last hits. He has gone for that bottle rush and needs to make sure that Curry doesn't get sniped, but Ogre, not one of the heroes really capable of doing that.
That's kind of interesting, right? The Mirana off lane, it's actually keeping pulls and not really possible. Koifa is turn around on GH God. This is going to be a close one. First blood actually already goes down at top, and so falls the Pudge, as kind of expected. But it looks like NiP struck first in the safe lane, managing to take out Mind Control's Underlord to gain the first blood before Koifa could happen.
Yeah, like he got a bit too aggressive going to the shop to pick up his poor man's shield and got punished for it. Cinderen swooping on in to now find him in the jungle here, so doing whatever they can to keep this Underlord as low a level as possible.
I think every team that actually has to face Underlord in a ranked match, I've seen them put a huge premium on trying to shut this hero down early, because it just seems, if you give it that first couple of levels, first of all, the laning phase gets more and more insane for the Underlord, and then on top of that, even if he is so pressured that he can't lane at level 3, then he just turns that into really efficient jungling.
Yeah, it's a hero that isn't very useful without farm. Like, part of the his benefit is being super tanky in the front lines, and well, we'll see how tanky he is now. And he's looking to land that stun. He's holding onto it for a long time to guarantee that he can land it. The result is he's just going to die to right clicks.
Yeah, mind control. And he has to run straight back, knowing that he's too low. But Ani's on point so far in his laning phase support, and NiP are off to a great start. 0-3 to their favor. They've got 750 experience, about a little bit over 500 gold lead right now, and this is the kind of start they need to have, right? Because they need to hit even harder when it comes to their mid game.
Yeah, they don't want to be giving Liquid room to get Shadow Fiend Naga farmed. Like, the Naga is getting a lot of farm down bottom, so which Mirana kind of get up in Kuro's face, but that's something that they're kind of trading off for hopefully winning some of these other lanes. But right now, both Shadow Fiend and Naga are still the top 2 CSs, so NiP are getting kills, but they have to be getting these kills, otherwise this early game is looking really shaky for them.
Synderen going to try and lend a helping hand, deal with mind control once they level 3.5. GH Gun still kind of sitting around mid. Koifa is currently a little bit behind in CS. Mind control.
He doesn't have a TP here, so he knows the Pudge is coming, and he's like, I'm just gonna have to walk through the tower. But good call from Synderen to react to the Pudge's movement.
I think that's Ogre's specialty, right? Not giving a damn about towers.
Yeah, I mean, he is a walking tower. He walks around. You don't want anything to do with him. He throws stuff at you.
Miracle. Nice hook coming out from GH God, but it's not going to be enough. That Haste Rune and the extra nuking power, level 5 or level 3 Starstorm now from Trixie after that kill. He's just got a huge experience buff off of being able to pick up that kill, lending Koifa a helping hand. They managed to eliminate both members of the mid lane.
Mirana suddenly has 1400 gold here. Queen of Pain getting those kills is suddenly off to a great start as well. They don't have any shrines for the Queen of Pain, so Koifa will have to go back to base. Probably see him pop a shrine in the base itself, but even so, this is a great start for NiP. Early aggression, they're getting kills across both top and middle lane, so as long as you're winning 2 of the 3 lanes against the Naga, you're okay with her free farming for now, and then you just look to address that problem a bit later on by taking over some more of the map, slowing down Naga's jungle farm if you can push some early towers. That's one thing NiP don't do all too well, though, is going to be able to take towers early. Era, the one hero that can hit buildings decently well, especially if he goes for an early Desolator, but without that, they're not going to be able to push all too fast.
Do you think, by the way, he's got a Ring of Health already, is that going to be the quick Linken's pickup to really make that mobility well worth it and the lockdowns even fewer for Liquid?
I think he definitely wants a Linken. It's more whether or not he gets the Deso before it. The Linken's very good this game against the Rubik and the Pudge. But if you're kind of snowballing and doing really well, there's also like, okay, we want to push towers, get the Deso faster.
Uh-oh, Miracle. Adi and Synderen, they've spotted you out. They're going to be able to get their combination here of stuns, and this should be enough magic damage with them running him down with this slow of Ignite. A little bit more. Dive the tower. A nuke. Oh, the last Dragon Slave doesn't actually hit him. And now Synderen's going to be in serious trouble. The Moonlight Shadow can only save him so much as the counter ward's laid down from Liquid. They managed to pick up that 1 kill. Meanwhile, top lane, Era, thinking about it, not actually going to go for the dive. The Shikuchi was up. Koifa is going to try and collect the kill. Maybe he blinks over the Ancients, starts working his way behind that offlane tower. Now, Koifa knows Mind Control is somewhere in the jungle. It's just a question of where. Doesn't actually find him as Mind Control managed to run his way all the way down south and takes a Quelling Blade to create an escape route. Liquid finally get a little bit something going their way in this laning phase.
Yeah, the Ogre Lina rotation, it looks good like when it's these 2 supports you find in SF, but then you see the Ogre's level 2 and Lina was level 4. Only now does Lina hit level 5, Ogre hits level 3. If they had those levels when they go for the gank, they get the kill, but it was like very low level nukes coming out from those 2 supports, and SF, just with a magic wand, able to tank through it all. He didn't even have the raindrops until now, so it wasn't quite enough to kill off Miracle. Perhaps hoping they'd find him on lower HP from all the jungling he was doing, but not the case. And they don't get down any wards, so bit of a failed smoke mission.
Trixie turns around, throws out the arrow. Kuro drops low. They are going to be able to get the last couple of hits in to finish him off. Matu is going to be forced away. A little bit surprised that Matu still going for the typical Naga Siren build, 402, 404. But I thought maybe against the Mirana and an attempt to zone him out better, they would get an early level of ensnare. Not the case.
Yeah, with the rotation, I could see it working. I guess just with just the Rubik there, it's like you ensnare and there's not a whole lot of damage output, but I guess that threat of a Pudge is always kind of worth maybe having a good setup for it. But there's going to be another kill going NiP's way. Already you can kind of see like they're getting farm on supports. Even Lena's getting to like 1900 net worth, has the Arcane Boots level 6 now, so I think they recognize after that failed smoke on the SF, they need to get a few more levels and farm on Honey's Lena at least, and then look to make their next couple of moves. Quickford level 8 has Sonic Wave and wants to once again take over this Radiant jungle a bit, but good Radiant Vision is scouting this out once again, so unlikely to succeed here.
Dire's middle tower is under
GH
attack.
was in a good position to make sure Hani doesn't catch Mind Control, but Now it looks like he may be caught. Era's going to come forward with the Shikuchi and attempted Dark Rift here. Mind Control tries to run away from Hani, and he just might make it too. Era tries to get the last couple of hits off, but doesn't make it. Nice play from Mind Control. Good awareness and good reactions.
Yeah, getting away from that Laguna Blade and see if NiP can at least get the top tier 1 tower off of this. They should have the damage to do so. Between these 3 heroes up here, they can just keep clearing these waves, but if GH can hit a good hook, they could put them in a bad spot. Oh, Hani. Didn't even know that hook was coming.
A bit too quick, it seems, for GH Gunt. Open speed doesn't quite judge the correctly. Misses out on the kill there. Throws out another hook, just grabs a range creep. That is fine. That'll pull the creep wave off the tower and lessen some of the impact of that push. Ani wrapping around here, may run into Miracle, will hit the LSA, combination with the Laguna Blade with the help of Koifa, they'll easily claim that kill. Killing spree now for Koifa. We said he needed to be able to have a good matchup in his lane, and with the help of the supports, he's actually turned this into quite a decent net worth lead for most of the heroes, though SF still keeping hand control, chased back to his tier 2 tower. Help of Moonlight Shadow, NiP are going to try and keep up the pressure in this offlane seat.
Yeah, they can just try to get behind the tower and do as much as they can. They've got great vision around this top lane. The ward helped kill the SF, and now it's going to help them ideally take this top tier 1 tower. So they're in a pretty good position, has all the HP regen, and will be able to get this tier 1 tower unless there's some kind of big rotation from like a Naga with a sleep. But I think at this point, if you're Liquid, you're just saying, look, our game plan is built around the Naga Radiance at this point. Let's not defend any towers that we don't have to.
Yeah, so delay if you can, but defend a little bit more questionable. Yeah. This Liquid team, they wait out that Radiance. Currently sitting Matu 1500. 404 build is complete, so he'll be very speedily clearing through neutrals as well as laning. Interested to see how NiP are going to respond to this. Are they actually going to make some sort of aggressive smoke rotations and try and push down this safe lane tower? Or are they just going to keep the pressure on the SF? Now, Era TPing bottom seems like they're at least going to have one core in lane against Matu from out. But,
I feel like this Radiant jungle is like a very important area of the map for NiP to control against the Naga, because she probably gets like a good 50-60% of her farm from the jungle at this point. With the Iron Talon, Arcane Boots, you can constantly jungle, and there's much more jungle camps on this bottom side of the map that she can use than towards the top, where there's just the 2 camps around the secret shop and the Ancients, which are a bit harder to farm. So taking this bottom tier 1 tower and getting some wards up in this Radiant jungle, I think, is probably the next big goal for NiP.
And I would not want to be NiP in this game. Just because, you know, look at, they're pressuring bottom now, but look at the other 2 cores. These 2 cores farm so quickly that you got to be thinking like every minute to yourself, like, oh god, now Underlord's getting farmed, now SF is getting farmed. It just feels like this constant pressure game that even if they are winning, it just seems like a stressful situation.
And it's like, how do you end the game? How do you push high ground against Pudge plus Underlord?
Nice hook into a Dismember. Koifa, Moonlight Shadow though, and they didn't have Kuro close enough.
Dire's top tower is under
Setting up
attack.
to go back in now, but we'll need an arrow to lead this one on.
If you can get the angle on something here.
Even if they don't get this mid tier 1 tower, they've positioned such that they've controlled this bottom side, so Air is solo pushing a tier 2. He may not get it, but he's getting some good damage off, and they've got another ward deep on the map. Well, quite a solo kill.
Yeah. Tries to push out the lane a little bit too much. Matu is being bought space in the top half of the map. He just kind of abandoned the bottom lane and is now trying to farm off the Dire jungle, but as you said, dude, not going to be nearly as efficient, right? You can't play as deep in the Dire jungle as you could your own Radiant jungle and play off of that. So, at least for now, NiP are going to be making some pretty efficient trades. For the Bloodlust, they'll start quickly taking down this tier 2. What do you think about Era's build, by the way? 3, 4, and 1, using to max out on the Swarm rather than Geminate attack.
I like the maximal. It gives you much better Roche taking potential. I think they're going to hit this timing around like 15-16 minutes where you want to get the earliest possible Roche. Not necessarily to take high ground, but it gets that cooldown rolling where you can take every outer tower plus shrines with the first Roche, and then around that second Roche, second Aegis, that's when you've got the items to push high ground with. So I think this build works really well because level 4 Beetles is just amazing. Like you can kill Roche with any lineup with level 4 Swarm on Weaver. So. And Hani's gonna find GH here.
He's just farming some neutrals, then all of a sudden Hani pops out. They is gonna land the LSA, so GH God won't manage to make a TP out here. Now he's gonna have to go for some sort of deny. He's gonna
get the
try.
Neutral at least.
He's gonna hook the Centaur. I think he's gonna try. Leading Hani on a merry chase here, turns around, gets a little bit of rot damage on him, threatening his life, running north now, just trying to buy as much time as his life could possibly be worth. Goes up a little further, hits that hook, gets a dismember, but this time around, Cinderin's here, they'll combo their stuns, and Hani survive just HP.
Space created, quote unquote, but NiP didn't even rotate cores. They were just like, the support's got this, they'll deal with it. And the whole time you've had Era at bottom lane, you've had Queen of Pain in mid lane. Quake's still continuing to farm well, has picked up a Orchid very early. Orchid, not a build you see too much anymore, but like it quite a lot this game. Really good as far as if you actually want to gank the Naga and not worry about the sleep escape, and just getting it this early on is a very potent item.
Yeah, I agree. I think you put yourself in a position via the draft that you needed to pressure Liquid really hard, and Orchid is exactly that kind of snowballing item that you're looking for. Counterward and Sentry is going to be laid down. They're going to be able to get the telekinesis, or Yules rather, to an attempted arrow. Combination from NiP does quickly eliminate the SF. They're going to turn that into Roshan as well with the level 3 Swarm, as well as who's got that? Oh, it's Cinderin. Cinderin's got the Medallion of Courage, so they've got plenty of minus armor to rip Roshan asunder and claim that Aegis.
Kill it before the Swarm Beetle even dies. No damage taken whatsoever. They're already gunning towards top to defend this lane, as well as probably push the T2 tower, and yeah, Mind Control Courage is going to abandon ship.
Dark Rift
just
away.
Out just in time, but like it really feels like Liquid are getting, like they're just getting little scraps on the map while NiP just get further and further ahead. They're taking all the outer towers, and they're also setting up to defend this bottom lane. Kuro luckily has the Shikuchi.
One of the real big upgrades NiP is going to have soon is this Aghanims on Trixie, which means they're going to have even more wave clear, and that'll help collide the map a little bit more, you know, start pushing in all these side lanes, start taking away those tier 2 towers as well, and leave Matu less and less to be able to farm with that radiance, which he will have it at this rate. They haven't managed to gank Matu yet. They haven't put enough pressure on him to delay that radiance one bit, so he is going to have it, and he is going to have that big farming capability, but if they can close off the map, they can still shut Naga Siren, or at least delay her inevitable build.
Yeah. She'll have to try get behind them, which is like get into that dire jungle so that you can creep skip waves and send your illusions like right by the enemy base where the creeps spawn. And if you can find yourself in a really deep spot on the map, past NiP, and then you're not getting caught out, that's where you can at least farm with the Radiance. But it's kind of a very good time for Matu. It's really is a classic Naga game. Like you get your Radiance, you're down almost 10k gold, and now the big question is, can the Naga turn the game around, I guess? And Liquid gonna continue to just have to buy time. The Radiance itself is not the solution to this game. It's gonna be a couple more items along the way.
Yeah, Manta is going to be incredibly important, right? Because we have this early Orchid of Koitva. That ability is very much based off of Snowball and can get shut down pretty quickly by those mid-tier items like the Manta that is in Naga Siren. So keeping that timing at bay increases this window of strength for Koitva's build. If they're able to do something like that, though. They're trying to pressure mid and keep bottom lane pushed right now. Hani's going to be taking some experience at top lane. This is pretty funny because this is Hani in a nutshell as a support, right? He always played a little bit greedier, kind of like Solo. Looks like Era may be caught here in this combination. They're going to be let loose with the sleep. They get the telekinesis, and Era is down. Now Koitva comes into the side, trying to blow up Kuro, but they do get a little bit of heal. The Dark Rift away is going to happen soon. They manage to take away the Aegis and get everybody out. The Dark Rift is back at the fountain, so Rubik will get healed up. So not only did they kill Era, they took away the Aegis, they didn't lose a single hero for it.
The prize is
That's the kind of plays you need to make. It looks like, okay, you just committed 5 ultimates to get like a kill in Aegis, but when you're behind with the Naga Siren, that's how you want to use like your sleep. Pick off a core hero with sleep and then go back to farming. And it just delays NiP from taking those objectives. Like, they're not getting the tier 2 towers right now. They've had this Aegis, and you're kind of looking at this first Aegis like, okay, it's got to be like, you get your outer towers, you get the shrines, you take over the map, but all it takes is 1 kill like that, and suddenly NiP gets slowed down. They haven't taken those tier 2s yet. They have no longer got the Aegis. Radiant Vision is looking very good right now as well. I think NiP need to prioritize like getting a gem and just taking down a lot of these wards, because...
Oh, Trixie, you making plays here? He got behind Miracle, but GH is there to respond. Nice hook. But yes, I completely agree with you. I thought that Aegis was going to be the leverage, allowing them to take tier 2s. They are going to use the smoke to find Kuro. Not really the kill they were hoping for with a smoke like that. They would have much preferred to run into this Naga Siren and get the Yule's combination on him, especially with sleep down. But still, a support will have to do. See if they can, well, this time keep mid and top pushed in, but Liquid always on the opposite side of the map. They're pressuring bottom.
Yeah, they're, I mean, trying to get their first out of the game still, but realistically that's not concern for them. They know, like, enough farm on Naga, or you win 1 fight and suddenly you get a couple of towers, and this 10k gold lead turns into almost no lead, because those are just money bags waiting to be claimed for Liquid should this game ever swing their way. So they're just kind of biding their time, playing the patience game, and you know, they've got this strong late game. You've got Shadow Fiend and Naga kind of looked at these 2 cores as being a very greedy draft, and definitely is, and they've suffered for it here in the early game, but if they can hold on for a bit longer, they've got the good high ground defense, this game will start looking more and more favorable for them the longer it goes.
Honey gonna be caught here and snared up straight into the hook of GH. No TPs from NiP to respond to that bit of aggression from Liquid. They've been pressuring bottom this whole entire time. Honey, I think he was hoping to just set up a kill for his team with the Yule stun comp, but instead, he is the one who gets comboed up instead. Koifa has a double damage. Bloodlust still. He's going to try and go for Miracle here, but actually gets telekinesis, a lot of burst damage, and Koifa is forced to blink away.
Well, close. Killing Koifa there would have been a disaster, really, for NiP, considering what just happened at bottom lane as well. Yeah, Lena's a support, but that was a 500 gold streak being ended. That was a tower, and it's now going to be a tower up top. The way they've split the map with the Naga illusions and leaving some of their heroes bottom, some top, kind of splitting off into these smaller groups to fight has really played out well for Team Liquid.
Synderen, he's going to run into GH and mind control. He's now stuck in the trees, being duoed again. Sierra's going to try and help him out, but burst damage just isn't there. GH is going to get a free ride out of here with the Dark Rifts. Can't do anything to stop that one. It looks like NiP, I think they're falling back on like plan B. You know, plan A is shutting down the Naga Siren and winning the game so heavily in the first 20 minutes that you can close it out by 30. But it looks like with the way their item builds are shifting and the way they seem to be building farm on everybody, is that they are now focused a little bit more on late game, because they have wave clear on every single one of their cores. They're not going the Desolator. It's on the Weaver. He's going Maelstrom as second item. You've got an Ags on Koifa, and then obviously you have that Aghanim's on Trixie as well, another form of wave.
Yep. Gonna ideally look to scale as late as possible here. Koifa getting hunted. Oh.
Goes to sleep though. Now telekinesis onto Koifa. They let loose, but again, it's still not enough. He's got the stats necessary. Synderen, he unfortunately does not have that escape mechanism. Meanwhile, GH not going to be able to TP away back over the jungle. Liquid hunt Koifa down. Not going to be able to find him. Kuro tried to trade blink for blink to see if he can catch that mid carry of NiP, but was unable to do so. Miracle's going to continue to hunt though with his Silver Edge. He's going to wander around behind the tier 1 tower and see if he stumbles upon a quick kill, and he just might with the help of I think they're going to be killing Aaron anytime soon. I thought maybe he'd run into Hani, but Hani's sticking close to Trixie.
Yeah, they don't have the Requiem for this either, so don't think that's really a viable kill for them, but Yeah, we're going for the anti-Naga build. It does feel like he would have gotten a lot of value out of the Deathly. There's been no pressure onto him. The Lincolns is nice for like the sustain, so you can keep pushing out lanes and you're getting spammed a lot. But I think he could have gone like Perseverance into the Deso and back to the Lincolns later on. But now as a result, like you say, like they've really just changed their game plan up here. They're going to be looking for some of those late game quap builds and really just trying to drag this game out and just be able to clear out these lanes as best as possible.
Kuro here with the Orchid. They just need vision. He's hiding behind the trees. Syndra, don't go that way. He needs your help, homie. He needs your stun. Oh, no. Well, either way, it just would have been a hard fight position. Nothing too important. Those kind of words are kind of necessary. Never know where Miracle is lurking about.
Yeah, he's back for the Dragon Lance. He's looking very tanky now with this Silver Edge Dragon Lance up to 2k HP. Gonna have some extra mobility once he completes the Hurricane Pike, so finding him not gonna be anywhere near as easy, and Weaver's just not looking like all that big of a threat. Has farmed well, but Era like doesn't have like we saw bottom lane. Pitlord and Pudge just go in, 2-man kill the Ogre, and then get out because Weaver doesn't have enough damage up for Punish it. You find Kura in the mid lane, but it's still just like you kind of mentioned, like would have just been a support kill up top. The big kills on heroes like Matu on the Naga Siren or Shadow Fiend are just not happening.
Looks like they picked up a gem, try and limit some of the vision of Liquid. A lot of that aggressive vision is what allows them to play with Naga Siren deep on the other side of the river. Mid lane, Trixie going to be caught by an ensnare here. That's going to last a while. Looks like long enough for them to be able to get the kill. Ensnare into Pit of Malice. That's kind of a gross combination. It works out well to bring down a core of Nips.
Nice little kill, and they're just back to farming. They've got a lot of the top side of the map controlled. That one deep observer just allows them to farm up below this jungle fairly safely, although have some vision of their own in that area. But even so, like the Naga Illusions have just been able to keep everything pushed out. They've finally taken a couple of towers. They're chipping away at mid with the Naga Illusions. Matu close to hitting that Octarine core. It's going to be very tough to deal with once you get that low cooldown, the sleep down to 45 seconds. Suddenly ganking him doesn't become all too feasible. I mean, it does with the Orchid, but you know the next time it's going to be the Manta style after that Orchid.
We are now in a point of a game where the stakes amp up a little bit. You have a gem on both sides of the table. And one team could very clearly take control if we manage to get that next fight that turns into a drop gem on one side or the other. Then one team is going to be able to have that clear map control, start suffocating the opposing team, and that's going to be really rough. If NiP's the one who loses the gem, I think your chances of winning this game drop by maybe as much as 10%, right? You just can't afford to lose that kind of map control and feel that suffocation against a Naga Siren. But this also could be a key to victory here for NiP. They are so close to these two heroes. Miracle and GH tried for a hook, going back to creep. Wait, GH, what you doing there? He's going to get caught by the Yule Scepter, and I think he was just hoping to pull NiP back a little bit or something there, but
I don't know if he realized quite how many heroes were in the neighborhood. I think he thought it was like, oh, there's one or two there, I'll hook him in. We get a kill and then we TP out. That's what they were doing at bottom lane with like the Pudge and Underlord earlier. Kill Cinder and TP out in front of the Weaver. Nothing NiP can do about it, but will be a NiP Roche. And I think even without that pick, this was going to be a NiP Roche regardless, and not something that Liquid are overly worried about. Miracle finds a courier. Can he get out now? It should be fine with Syndra not having that gem and the rest of the team still finishing Roche, but being able to take objectives off this Aegis is like the big ask, and that's something which I feel NiP is still going to struggle to do with the current state of the map and just the lane equilibrium being constantly on their side, so they're going to still have their work cut out for them.
Well, if you're losing objectives, better to lose it by your hand. But the else's Quotefoe will take the deny on the tier 2 at bottom, which is what they traded just for. Mantis Town's coming up for Miracle, and it is also going to be coming up for Matsu as well. He chose to go for the Octarine. Apple, Trixie, turn in, manages to kill one illusion. Miracle's here. We'll get that Silver Edge proc. They tried to go for the sleep catch as well, but unable to do so. Can't execute that quick heal combination of sleep into.
Yeah, no longer a big deal with the Octarine up. It's back up in 30 seconds time, but would have been a nice little kill for them. with Trixie having a decent chunk of farm. He's not really that traditional offlaner. In some ways, he is transitioning well and truly into a late game core hero as well. So to do what they can as far as NiP are concerned to keep everyone up in terms of overall farm. The Lina Hani, level 15 with 8k net worth almost, so they realize that if they want to take this late, they need to have more than just 2 cores. They need to have 3-4 heroes with good farm who are going to be able to deal with Naga illusions.
No, I didn't realize this until now, but Koifa's always been a very greedy mid. Likes to play more carry style with his mids. If you can give him a good matchup, he can snowball off of that, but for the most part, he, especially going into mid game, is going to be a lot greedier than most others. And then combine that with players like Hani, who's also a greedy from a support position. You actually have this new version of NiP may be a lot more late game focused than others. And Koifa is keeping up his farm to a very relevant status. He's second in net worth, not too far behind the Naga Siren, and actually has completed side fights.
Yeah, he really does play that like old school RTZ style mid where you're really the most farmed hero on the map often. Like you're the one position as far as farm priority, even though you're playing out of the mid lane. So I mean, anytime you talk to Era, he kind of just jokingly complains like, yeah, Koifa just wants him to farm, so I have to like run around creating space. And that's why he goes for this this Linken's build, because he's like, well, I got to be the one kind of fighting a bit more, and this Linken's is going to allow me to like give space to Koifa to farm. If you go for a Deathslayer, you're just too squishy, and he feels like he needs to be able to fight more. So it's kind of is like the way the overall role distribution works on the ninja side.
Dire's middle tower.
Tier 1 tower quickly taken out by Miracle as it had been chipped away earlier, but now all of Liquid are in one space, and NiP are kind of looking for a fight, but being scouted out by these Naga Siren illusions, and it may be Liquid who take the first step here. With Silver Edge, Sleep, they have to be aware of this Requiem combination. Era's already been fearing it. You could see he's thinking about going for a BKB next. Oh, Koifa! He just blinked straight into them, just immediately gets taken out. Now they have the chance still for this combination. The arrow actually hit Kuro in the background. Trixie comes in, pops the shrine, is going to be dismembered by GH God. It looks like they're going to be able to finish him off. A stun onto Matu. They get a little bit more, but now he's managed to pop out his illusions, throws out the ultimate, but it's not good enough. They're going to get a Dark Rift out. No, mind control! They got the proc, they finish him up, but there goes the Sleep, and Era is low. They don't have one of their cores. Wait, no! Matu, help out Miracle! Wait, no! Oh god! He gets off the ultimate! Koifa, he blinks forward, he goes for Matu, but Matu still goes down to Hani! NiP, what a massacre that was! GH is still up versus Hani. The two supports can match up against each other if they want, but in the end...
Curry even gets a gem.
Alright, so they both claim a gem apiece. What? I mean, that should have been a clean escape for Liquid, right? Throw down the Sleep, Miracle runs away with the help of the Sleep.
The Underlord dying just before the Dark Rift went off, and I guess Matu repositioned his hero because it looked like SF was moving forward as if to line up a Requiem on the Queen of Pain, and then suddenly Queen of Pain wasn't sleeping and was killing Miracle, and it was this big panic moment where Miracle's like, wait a second, aren't you meant to be, like, not attacking me? You're meant to be sleeping right now, but I think Matu had just slightly repositioned his hero, not realizing, like, I mean, you can't see the whole fight when you're in position, like, closer down to the river. You can't see exactly what's going on to the north and know the exact range of that spell, and it kind of put Miracle in this really awkward position where he thought he was going to hit a Requiem on a Queen of Pain and clean up. He would have survived, killed Quap as well as the Weaver if he hit that Requiem, but it was just slightly miscoordinated.
The Dark Rift going down would have been a big win for Liquid. If they had actually done the Sleep combination, they would have won the fight in one way or another. They had two different opportunities to get wins, but whether through RNG or bad communication, I mean, that Maelstrom proc to finish off mind control at that last second was pretty crucial. But then maybe it's miscommunication between the two cores. Maybe they had two different ideas of what they wanted to do in that team fight with that Sleep, and ends up costing Liquid quite a lot. NiP are able to go basically even in that team fight.
Do you think that helped? How much do you think that helps NiP though? Like as far as getting, I mean, I want to say getting back in this game because it does feel like this game has slipped away from them some.
I think status kind of remains the same, where it could have been a huge upset. It could have been Liquid taking control of the game if it hadn't been. Ultimate coming down, Trixie starts backing away at the right time. Miracle's just hoping for Trixie to stay in one place for a time, but Trixie now goes for the leap over to the side, closer to Miracle. Miracle can still hunt him down. They do have the damage over time as well, but Trixie does manage to get away with the Moonlight Shadow. It looks like he'll be good. Synderin throws out an Ignite. TP's out as well.
Nice little escape from Trixie. Gone back. This is a post-Aghanim's Midas, right? He didn't get this till after the Ags.
On who now?
On Trixie.
On Trixie. Oh, yeah. You're right. Yeah, he picked
That
up
was going to be one
that
of
farming
the
item
later
first.
Midas. Yeah, normally like you think, okay, Ags, there's your farming item. If you want to go Midas like as a support Mirana into the Ags, like it's one thing, but going back for it is once they get that level 25, I guess, as fast as possible.
Yeah, maybe he's a big fan of the split shot arrows.
I mean, I was a bit of a doubter of that. Like, I remember when I first read, I was like, oh, they get the attack speed. That sounds super gimmicky. And then I talked to Weehai. It was at the ESL whatever, because he got it at level 25 on his Cormorant. And he was like, his team didn't believe in him. His team's like, no, that's stupid, man. Don't get that. Get the attack speed. But you hit a couple, like, multiple hero arrows, and suddenly you're in business.
Era, fresh BKB is up. He knew this was going to be a problem. Sleep in a Requiem. He is going to be caught by the ensnare still, but does manage to time-lapse that one away. Starts walking out with the Shikuchi, but GH is there. He managed to snag him, gets the Dismember, and all those defensive items for Era still do not save his life.
Yikes. That is worrying when your Lincoln's BKB Weaver is going down. Overall, this game does not feel like it's going a good place for NiP. If anything, this push down mid could be a threat towards the racks here. Like, the NiP do not have the best lineup for defending against the physical damage coming out from the SF. Like, the Naga illusions can be cleared okay by all the AoE damage, and he'll just keep on making more.
Honey has completed Octarine. I was a little bit surprised when they started going for that soul booster. I thought Ags was a very natural second pickup here, but he opts to go for the lower cooldown on all his spells rather than pure damage of his Ags upgrade.
It's definitely like a nice game lean item. I mean, for any 6-slotted leaner, like I think there's an Octarine core somewhere in the mix, but it's like as a support, you don't expect to see that item picked up this early on as your second item pickup. But already level 20, so...
It's in a Matu. Matu gets off to sleep, hoping his team will be here in time, but it looks like they're just a bit too far away, taking away that bottom shrine. NiP very clearly wanted to keep this remaining structure alive. Like Koifa made his way over there. Nice and early.
Doesn't really feel like Koifa's gotten too much like value out of this Orchid Hex build of his. I feel like the idea with the Orchid definitely makes sense, but as far as like the way the game's panned out, like it does feel like other item builds would have been more effective this game.
Yeah, the Orchid pretty much could have been an Axe first, with the unfortunate way that NiP were unable to find the pickoffs that they desired. This is looks like another BKB gonna be picked up. Trixie. He will be the next one up. That regard, last shrine still up. Bottom lane, they do manage to catch him. GH and Matu. A quick kill on Trixie, but they are going to smoke out on NiP. Koifa's going to reveal himself, but the other two are going to sit behind, see if Liquid take this bait at all. But it's not much of a bait if everyone else runs away. Koifa actually going to turn and fight Kuro a little bit. Still has that blink up. Will get away. Miracle, though. He's the one has actually been spotted out right now. Did have that counter ward on the cliff, so they saw him for a moment. And Gem just not at the right place, the right time.
And with his butterflies, Mante's pretty damn speedy and also just hard to kill in general. Another hook in mid lane, GH.
Just doesn't stop.
He's come online, he missed a few early on, but one of those things with Pudge is like, you don't have a rough early game, as long as you can make it later, the pick still pays for itself, and that's what we're seeing here.
13 to 18, 37 minutes in, and it's Liquid who are now threatening the base on two fronts. They're pushing into tier 3 at mid as well as bottom, and NiP are attempting to push this back while still waiting for their core Trixie to come alive, and maybe even waiting for Synderin as well. That Ogre and the Bloodlust is needed. Oh no, the Pit of Malice pushed in, and a BKB Era does manage to get away from that one, but it doesn't really stop Miracle's push, or Matu's for that point. They've got the tier 3 town already down in bottom lane, and Mailerback's going to get dropped as well. NiP are finally coming up with their full 5-man, but they've lost so much in this small window of time. A full lane of Rax and a tier 3 at mid.
Even top lane has Naga illusions chipping away there. They've got to go on something. They're trying to take the Naga down to mid. I don't think they've got the damage.
He's orking it up, but that'll fade away. Now he does have the sleep. Koifa right in the middle of things. GH is unable to get the dismember off before that blink. It looks like Liquid are just going to keep pushing forward mid. They know some big abilities have been used. Now Trixie's been caught by another hook. GH immediately into the dismember. They lock Trixie down long enough to be able to kill that core again. 70 seconds on the clock. Into a sleep. Into a Requiem of Souls. They're going to go straight for Era first, it looks like. With the arrow, it makes it easy. Ninjas in pajamas have just been wiped like that. They're going to try and go for some buybacks here. Koifa coming back at the table, but none of Liquid are going to be anywhere near low enough for them to find a kill, and it looks like Liquid are just going to quickly execute a finish to this game. 18-18 is the end score, but the result is anything but one-sided. Liquid take game 1.
Yeah, that was a 8k gold lead with something like a 10 kill advantage for NiP, and they just couldn't press their advantage enough. Like, they got that first Aegis, and